Welcome to A Spot of Story with Danielle Grandinetti. Cozy up with your favorite beverage as we chat about sweet romance, thrilling suspense, and fascinating history. Perhaps you'll find your next read in one of these stories. On this episode of A Spot of Story, I am chatting with Lenora Worth. Lenora is a member of the American Christian Fiction Writers Honor Roll. Lenora writes romance and romantic suspense for Love Inspired, sweet romance for Tool Publishing, and single-title Amish stories for Kensington Books. 3 of her books finaled in the ACFW Carol Awards, and she received the Romantic Times Pioneer Award for Inspirational Fiction. Lenora is a New York Times, USA Today, Publishers Weekly, and ECPA bestselling writer. That's a lot of them. That's awesome. And 2019 RWA Read a finalist. With 100 plus books and novellas published and 5.3 million books in print, she enjoys adventures with her retired husband and loves reading, baking, and shopping, especially shoe shopping.
That's right.
And this particular podcast is going to talk about a book that will add to that bio, your first independently published book.
That's right.
All right. What is the title of this independently published book?
It is The Sweetheart Deal.
The Sweetheart Deal. Before we start talking about the Sweetheart Deal, though, I love to ask a question because at the end of the day, books is what brings us all together. And like you said, reading is just as much fun as writing these books. So what are you currently reading?
Well, I'm currently reading, I've got one in every room, but I got a lot going on. I'm reading The Island Bookshop by Rosanna White because I admire her work. I'm reading a Charles Martin book because I admire his work. And I think I just finished, a Laura Blount, one of her wonderful love-inspired stories. But right now I'm trying to stick to Rosanna's and just read hers because it's really good.
Yes, I just got that one in the mail, so I'm excited to read that one too.
Yes, I love it, and it's a real book. It's not on my Kindle, so that's even more fun.
Yes, and it has that beachy cover.
Yes.
Which kind of brings us to your book then, because yours is also the end of summer sweet romance read. I'm excited about it.
I am too.
All right. So the Sweetheart Deal. What does a day in the life of your main character look like? First, tell us her name, and then.
Well, Jake and Vanessa, they grew up on Sweetheart Bay in Florida, which is where I live. And so it's based loosely around Destin, and had so much fun with that. And they have known each other since kindergarten, but they come home for a wedding as adults. So they've got a lot of wedding duties. She's the maid of honor. He's the best man. And they're forced back together. And they realize that as adults, they're a little shy about how they feel about each other because he's always been her best buddy, but she wouldn't let it go any further for various reasons that we'll get into later. But anyway, that's what they're doing right now in the book. They're trying to take care of her sister's wedding. Her sister's younger than her, and she's aware that everybody knows that, and her sister's getting married before she does. So it's, they're a little awkward around each other, but they have a whole week or so to get to know each other again. And promises have been made that they might have to keep.
Ooh, that's always fun. What is your favorite scene in the book, and why was it your favorite to write?
I had several favorite scenes, but the one I loved the most was when they finally see each other again as adults, because they've made a pact that if they're still single when they're 30, she will marry him because he's wanted her to marry him since kindergarten, and he's made that very clear. But now that she's interested, he's kind of backed off because he doesn't want to scare her. And as an adult, he's matured enough to know that he shouldn't have pushed her so much when they were younger. Her parents got a horrible divorce, and she never quite got over that. So she doesn't believe in marriage anymore. And just when she sees him, they bump into each other, and she feels kind of a jolt and like, "Oh, this is mature Jake, and he looks great."
Yes.
So now that she's kind of interested, he's trying to back off, and it was a cute moment where they were both kind of awkward, and I loved how we all reacted to it.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
Yes.
those are fun. What is some unique research that you had to do for this particular book?
There were 2 unique things. First of all, I had to research wedding etiquette, which is, oh my goodness, I'm glad
Yes.
I eloped, but, that was fun. I had to come up with the perfect wedding cake because it wanted to be a beachy cake, and, I had a lot of help with that, just researching, and I got hungry.
Yeah, seriously.
And there's a really funny scene about the wedding cake. Well, 2. One's funny, one's not so funny. And then her father, becomes ill, and, I had to do a lot of research. I won't say what happens, but I had to do a lot of research on, in the medical system, what would happen if this happened, and, so I preferred the cake scenes more than the medical scenes, but
Yes.
but that was fun.
Good. Awesome. So, what is one piece of research that didn't end up making it in the book?
I think it all ended up there. I got a little, I had to be a little technical with the medical stuff, and I didn't go into, all the graphics of what would happen if this happened, but and most of the cake scenes went in there too. So yeah, they really came in handy, and I did a lot of
Awesome.
research on both of them.
That's awesome. I know research, you could sometimes go down a rabbit hole and find something really fun.
Yes,
So,
and
getting to use it all.
they were used.
That's
They were
awesome.
definitely put in the book.
So, this is going to be a twofold question.
Okay.
What was the inspiration behind the book and the inspiration behind making this one your first independently published book?
Well, the idea came to me when I had joined up for this big indie promo thing on Facebook, and I realized after signing up that it was supposed to be a novella, and I wanted it to be a beach book. And I came up with this idea because I live in Florida, and I thought, well, if it's going to be a beach book, I'll just put it in this novella collection. But I realized at the time I had too many deadlines, and we were getting prepared to move again, and I just couldn't go through with it. So I dropped out of that. So fast forward, and I decided, I'm going to try indie. And I thought, what would be a good book to start? And I remembered the Sweetheart Deal, the little novella that I had started. So I pulled it out. I worked on the first 3 chapters for about 3 months. And I just gotten that perfected to put in Atticus, and somehow I lost it before I
No.
saved it, and, I couldn't we nobody could find it. I couldn't, Atticus couldn't, and because I deleted it before I saved it. So, but I had a copy, saved on my computer, so I got that fixed, and, got over the agony of that.
Yes.
I started rewriting it in January, and it took me till probably May to finish it. And I just really, the more I got into it, it was a time when I was struggling with just writing every day anyway. So by the time I got into it really deeply, I really had fallen in love with the book, and I was determined I was going to finish it, whether it never saw the light of day or just. But then I thought, this is perfect for my first indie book because I have 2 other quirky ideas like this that I think I can turn it into a
Mhm.
series in the
Ooh, fun.
same community that's on the bay and near the beach and near the Gulf, and have fun with that too. So
Ooh, exciting. I
yeah.
love that. It's so fun.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the book, what encouragement do you hope readers will take away from this book?
Well, that is a good question. When I first started out, I thought it was going to be a rom-com type,
Uh-huh.
just fun book. And the more I wrote, the more it got kind of serious. And I thought, okay, this is classic what I've written all my life is sweet, cozy romance, and that's what I've written for Love Inspired for 30 years, and for Tule, and even with my Amish books, they're just sweet
Mhm.
romance, and so I thought, I'm just going to go with it, and we'll turn it into a. It's got funny moments and it's got sad moments, and them reuniting with each other was such a joy that I hope first it will encourage people to never give up on their faith, keep the faith,
Yes.
because it does have a little bit of a faith thread. And then second, don't you can fall in love without losing control of yourself and your
Hmm.
life. If you find the right person to love you, that person will let you be yourself. And I think that's the important takeaways is never give up hope or faith, and never think that if you do this thing, you're going to lose control of that thing. You
Yes.
have to compromise and make life work, and you can be happy and have a
Yes.
happily ever after.
I love that. I love that. And happily ever afters are just the
Oh,
best.
yes. That's a given.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Lenora, thank you so much for joining me today. It was so fun, and I'm so excited about this book. I have gotten to hear the progress along the way, so I'm
Probably more than you
exceptionally
wanted to
excited.
hear.
No, not at all. It's been fun. I can't wait to actually hold it in my hands now, though.
Me too. I'm so excited.
Which means where can other readers find this book?
Well, whenever it gets out there, which we hope it will be in Amazon for a while, and I hope to have print copies available. And we might go wide with it a little later, but Kindle and hopefully print copies. I hope to have by the fall, the end of
Excellent.
summer. So if all goes well and I don't mess everything up.
Yes. I'm sure it'll be great.
So we'll see. I'm
Yay.
really excited, and I really hope that my readers are very loyal, and I hope they'll buy this one and give it a chance.
Absolutely. I'm excited about it.
I am too, and thank you for having me and let me talk
Yay.
about it.
Oh, absolutely. So if they want to find your other books, all 100 plus of them, where can they find you
Well,
online?
we just redid my website, so they can
Ooh,
find them in all their glorious color and
perfect.
titles, and on my new website, which it'll be still lenoraworth.com, but and it'll be in the same location, but all they got to do is Google or look for lenoraworth.com. But we're moving it this week, setting it up.
Ooh,
So yes, you start there too, new and fresh, and I hope this book by the end of summer will be right up front.
perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lenora. This has been so much
Thank
fun.
you, Danielle. You're a sweetie, and I appreciate you thinking of me.
Thank you for listening to A Spot of Story with Danielle Grandinetti. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation. Let us know by leaving a comment below, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Discover more information about today's book by visiting A Spot of Story online at daniellegrandinetti.com/podcast. Happy reading!